What if I told you that the greatest protagonist in this story cannot reach his true greatness alone? His destiny only completes itself when it intertwines with that of one of his greatest adversaries. Yeah, the two biggest rivals in One Piece, joining forces for the final battle. When you look at the deeper symbolism Oda uses, yin and yang, the swirling shapes of devil fruits, and the mysterious connection between Joyboy and Emu, the idea becomes a lot more believable than you think. Today we're diving into a theory that breaks everything wide open. Or should I say, swirls them together. Let's start with something simple, the yin and yang symbol. It represents balance, opposite forces that are interconnected, interdependent, and constantly cycling each other. Light and dark, good and evil, creation and destruction, freedom and control. Now look at One Piece. Everything in this story revolves around duality, two forces clashing, complementing and completing each other. We see this with freedom versus order, represented by pirates and marines. We also see this with the power of the devil fruits and Haki, with devil fruits representing external, supernatural, and granted power. As for Haki, that represents internal, human willpower. One comes from the outside, and the other comes from within. True mastery requires balance, with Luffy merging both. The entire One Piece world, its powers, its lore, its history, is built on this idea of cyclical opposing forces. And at the heart of that duality sits Joyboy and Emu. Joyboy and Emu are two roles meant to balance the world. One represents liberation, the other represents absolute control. And just like yin and yang, they are two halves of a single cosmic system, destined to clash each era. Now Emu wields a terrifying technique called domination, a power that reverses or corrupts something's natural state. This technique is tied to domination, inversion, and twisted control. But here's where things get interesting. If Emu has domination, then what if Joyboy had the complete opposite? A technique that purifies, a technique that restores someone's true nature, something that turns cruelty into compassion, or hatred into joy. I believe that Joyboy truly had a type of Liberation Haki, something that frees someone's soul. Could this be the reason why we've seen a knot untie itself in chapter 1122? And Meth uses a Joyboy imbued Conqueror's Haki knot to defeat the 5 elders, releasing an immense power. In this newly expanded scene, Luffy's expression lingers in awe that feels deeper than surprise. Perhaps what he witnessed wasn't just freedom, but something that resonated only with a true bearer of the deed. The sight of genuine liberation. The sight of enlightenment that speaks beyond words. It wasn't Conqueror's Haki he was seeing, but the exact opposite. It's so funny that we know a type of Conqueror's Haki. Again, he was seeing Liberation Haki. And who knows, maybe this was Oda's way of saying that Joyboy was liberating Meth from the constraints of anything evil that possessed it long time ago. You see, the giant automaton was known to have attacked Mary Joie long ago. Now what if Meth wasn't attacking, but he was reacting to a purification command that Joyboy once used, a technique that Emu feared so much they erased Joyboy and this very same technique from history, a period that we might know as the Void Century. Now you might ask, how does Blackbeard come into play in all of this? The same way Davy did. What if this duality is in fact a trinity? If Joyboy embodies the light and Emu commands the darkness, then Davy and his clan stand as the balance between the two. Hence why Emu has such an obsession with destroying the scale that weighs both sides. It's fitting that the Yin and Yang symbol contains a dot of light in the darkness and a dot of darkness in the light, just as Blackbeard wields one fruit born of shadows and the other that radiates a pale luminous power. Luffy is the light, the rising sun. He's a blank canvas of freedom and possibility. Emu is pure obscurity, the unseen force of control, the borders that confine the canvas itself. And Blackbeard, the final Davy, he is the darkness. He may be the lines carved across the canvas, shaping the very image the world is forced to perceive. There are thousands of videos explaining this, so I don't want to get redundant, but here's how I see this metaphorical game of Othello playing out. Blackbeard may actually be subjected to the Domini Reversi, just like his father from God Valley. That's if you believe the whole homeland theory about the Domini Reversi technique, you know, the theory about how Emu can only possess creatures or humans or whatever in their homeland. And I do gotta admit, like, if that theory is true, it kind of throws my whole theory off. Unless they go back to God Valley. Or if Emu gets some final saga type glow up and they figure out how to, you know, Domini Reversi everybody on some infinite Tsukuyomi type ish. But for conjecture purposes, I'm gonna act like that theory, the homeland theory, is not true. Through Nika, through the lingering will of Joyboy, Luffy may awaken the ancient anti-Domini Reversi technique, once used to wash corruption from the world. You see, I believe that Joyboy wielded a transcendent form of Liberation Haki, and Luffy could rediscover it in his Nika state. In the end, he may not destroy Blackbeard, but liberate him, allowing the two of them, light and darkness, to stand together against Emu, one using light to restore, the other using darkness to break Emu's hold. A perfect balance, a perfect cycle, a perfect ending to the greatest story ever told.